With its attractive design, Helio P35 chipset, 13 megapixel rear camera, 3020 mAh battery along with 3 GB of RAM and 64 gigs of internal storage, this is Huawei's Y6s, and let's start the review. Hey guys, Adil here from TechWafer. Let's start with the design and the build. The Y6 comes with a two-textured finish which is similar to the one that we find on Google Pixel and Huawei Y9 Prime 2019. The upper portion of the plastic bag is glossy while the lower half takes on the matte finish. It is slim and lightweight, and while the Y6S is constructed with a plastic material, the device feels solid in the hands. Well, you will also find a rear camera mounted at the top, and along with it you will find an LED flash and a fingerprint scanner as well. Well, widescreen also has a screen that comes with thin bezels. The chin is wide though, occupied by a Huawei logo. At the top, the display sits with a drop notch front camera inside it, and it is an 8 megapixel sensor. Speaking about the display and the multimedia of Y6s, this phone possesses 6.09 inches display with a 720 pixels of resolution. That means the display is quite limiting and you will be able to play games and enjoy videos at 720 pixels of resolution at max, but that's what you can expect from an entry-level smartphone. A good thing about its display is the panel is TUV rain lens certified and has the ability to block blue lights so users can look at the screen without straining their eyes. The color reproduction of Y6s is also satisfactory and the display is rather sharp. As far as the audio is concerned, while playing games or watching movies on this device, the speakers are really good and I've never experienced such sound on any entry-level smartphone yet. Now let's talk about the operating system and user interface of Huawei Y6s, and you are getting EMUI 9.1 based on Android 9 right out of the box with Huawei Y6s. Huawei defaults to the standard home screen app arrangement, but you can make changes later to a drawer style or few others. And you can also change the navigation setting of the device. Another important aspect that we started covering in Huawei devices is whether it supports Google Apps or not, and luckily this phone is carrying the support of Google Apps and you can use services like Gmail, Play Store on this phone. Not just that, but Huawei has also included the app gallery because they are promoting it. Along with it you are getting Hi Care also, and these are the apps that comes pre-installed so you don't have to install them later on. Well, as far as the storage is concerned, you can upgrade the storage from 64 GB standard variant to 512 gigs with the standard micro SD card. Okay, so it's time for the camera, and as I've already mentioned in the unboxing video, this phone is carrying 13 megapixel shooter on the rear while the front camera is 8 megapixel snapper. So let's dig into them. And the standard camera app defaults to the beauty mode when switching to the 8 megapixel snapper. Well, if that's not enough, you can disable the beauty mode, and I don't think that you will be liking your videos. Well, you always have an option to disable the beauty mode on Y6s, so you may disable if you'd like to. The images taken with the 8 megapixel camera look washed out under ample lighting, and the details are not also as sharp as we would hope. Still, you might find useful to post them on your social media walls, and when you enable the beauty mode it will make improvements, but don't use it too much. Well, speaking about the rear camera, the 13 megapixel snapper delivers photo with a good color and decent details, but the oversaturation might occur at several times, especially when you are taking photos in a bright light and sunny day. Well, the camera performance during the night is not that good. Okay, so now it's time for the performance and the benchmarks section, and Y6s is carrying Helio P35 chipset, which is partnered with the 3 GB of RAM and 64 gigs of internal storage. As I've already mentioned, we ran few benchmarks, and I would like to mention that Geekbench was not available on the Play Store. I tried to install it. On Antutu benchmarks, Y6s gets 98,000 scores, while Speaking about the PC mark, this phone manages to get 4050 scores. So these are the benchmark scores that this phone manages to cover, and that's what you can expect from an entry level smartphone. And while we are speaking about the performance, why should we miss the gaming? And as far as this phone is concerned, it can play games like PUBG at balanced settings at a lower frame rate. However, you will find little bit lag while you are playing game on this phone because it is an entry level smartphone and games with a higher specs requirement won't be running smoothly on this phone. Well, however, if you'd like to play games that do not require a lot of processing, this phone is good to go for. Okay, so now it's time to test the battery, and as far as the battery of Y6 is concerned, it is providing you a backup of 3020 mAh, which is a lot less that we are getting in this price segment because there are devices like Realme 5 which falls in the same price segment and they are providing up to 5000 mAh battery. So they are providing a tough competition to this device in terms of battery life. The phone charges from 0 to 100% in almost 3 hours and 20 minutes. We have also put it under PC Mark's battery benchmark, and the Y6s totaled up to 10 hours and 30 minutes of live. Okay, so speaking about the conclusion of this device, it is an entry level smartphone and you cannot expect a lot from this smartphone. Well, it is having a smaller battery. Other than that, I think overall specs of this phone are quite satisfactory, and if you are looking for an entry level smartphone, I'd urge you to take a look at Huawei Y6s, but in terms of battery life it is lagging behind few others that are in its competition. So with that being said, thank you very much for watching. See you in the next one.